Elite Facts presents
Top 10 Creepy Abandoned Places.
10.
Shicheng, or sometimes referred to as Lion City, is an underwater city located in the Xicheng region of eastern China. It's estimated to be 1,341 years old. In 1959, while the construction of the Zenan River hydropower station was underway, this city was discovered submerged completely underwater. The water has been protecting the city from wind and rain erosion, so it has remained untouched by nature and remains in a fairly impressive condition.
9.
Castle Miranda, commonly known as Chateaunoise, has stood in Belgium since 1866. The castle is considered by many to be an urban explorer's paradise. The interior of the castle is highly damaged and vandalized. Some of the floors have been removed, and the ceilings in some of the rooms are no longer there. The ancestors of the family that own it had fled to Belgium during the French Revolution and hid in a farmhouse. As the family grew, they commissioned this wonderful castle from famed English architect Milner. Today, the abandoned castle looks like something out of a horror movie and attracts ghost hunters and urban explorers from all over the world.
8.
The Sansa UFO Houses project on the northern coast of Taiwan, just outside Taipei, was started in 1978. Creators of these oddly shaped holiday houses were certain that the seaside resort would attract tourists and travelers. The project was abandoned 2 years after construction initially began due to lack of funds and a number of deaths during the construction. These holiday homes laid in ruins for 28 years before they were finally torn down. But up until that time, they were known as the mysterious ruins of the future. Left to the mercy of time and vandalism, the deserted Sansa Pod City found itself on the tourist and urban explorers map because of its unusual architectural appearance.
7.
The Tagansky Protected Command Point, also known as RFQ Tagan, Exhibition Complex Bunker 42, and many other names, was once a top-secret underground military complex that was used during the Cold War. The facility is located 65 meters beneath Moscow and is estimated to be the size of a small town. The facility was established in 1951 to serve as a military complex/bunker in the event of a nuclear war with the United States. In the 1980s, the threat of nuclear war began to die down, which resulted in the bunker being abandoned after losing its primary role. In 2006, it was put up for auction and sold for 65 million rubles, equivalent to $10,443,700 US. Today, it's a unique museum that's devoted to the time of the Cold War era.
6.
Abandoned amusement parks are quite rare and are considered a goldmine by many urban explorers. Nara Dreamland was built in 1961 and was inspired by America's Disneyland, which had opened in California the previous decade. Towards the end of the park's life, it was struggling due to low visitor numbers, and possibly due to the popularity of Universal Studios Japan, which opened in nearby Osaka in 2001. On August 29, 2006, the park was forced to close permanently and has been abandoned ever since.
5.
The Munsell Forts, also known as the Red Sands Sea Forts, were 7 small fortified towers built in the Thames and Mersey estuaries during the Second World War to help defend Great Britain from attacks from the sky and to help minimize the damage done by the Luftwaffe. The forts were decommissioned in the late 1950s and were later used for other activities. Though now defunct, these incredible concrete towers are still standing out at sea, impressive as ever. To this day, boats still visit the remaining forts occasionally, and a consortium called the Project Red Sands is planning to conserve the fort situated at Red Sand.
4.
Just south of Mexico City, between the canals of Xochimilco, you'll come across a mysterious island with a weird but sad background that was never intended as a tourist destination. The island is known as Isla de las Muñecas, or Island of the Dolls. Legend has it that a girl was found drowned on the island and that the dolls are possessed by her spirit. The area has thousands of people, but this one small island is home to hundreds of terrifying dolls. The dolls' severed limbs, decapitated heads, blank eyes, and scruffy-looking appearances disturbs everyone who visits the island. Definitely one of the creepiest places on this list.
3.
On April 26, 1986, during a test to see how much power was needed to keep the number 4 reactor operating in the event of a blackout, a catastrophic nuclear accident occurred when the Chernobyl nuclear station exploded. As a result of the explosion, extremely dangerous amounts of radioactive chemicals were released into the air, which resulted in the entire city of Pripyat, with a population of 49,000 people, being forced to evacuate in just under 4 hours. Over 30 years later, this eerie ghost town is a freeze frame of the Soviet Union in 1986. The disaster was so bad that millions of square miles were contaminated, including a lot of European countries. The Chernobyl disaster is considered to be the worst nuclear power plant accident in history, and according to the International Nuclear Event Scale, it's one of only 2 disasters that has been classified as a level 7. Today, Pripyat is seen as a popular tourist attraction. Communist propaganda still hangs on the walls, and personal belongings litter the streets and abandoned buildings. Nothing has been touched since the disaster. Chernobyl is considered to be one of the creepiest abandoned places to visit.
2,
These eerie pictures show what remains of the abandoned Belitz-Heilstätten Hospital in Belitz, Germany. The hospital was built during the late 1800s and is well known for being the place where Adolf Hitler recovered from a leg wound he received in the infamous Battle of Somme. The complex was abandoned shortly after the Soviets left the hospital in 1995.
1,
Kiev's Metro forms the backbone of the city's public transportation system with 42 miles of track, and this underground abandoned station is one of the world's deepest underground stations. Infiltrating the network without permission is strictly forbidden because of terrorism concerns as well as fast-moving trains, ensuring the system's 1.4 million daily passengers will never see the decades-old tunnels in their native glory, and for good reason. But one group of intrepid urban explorers did find their way into the hazardous underground space.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.